Welcome back to Cuffs and Hoses. We've been on a bit of a hiatus, but we are back. And not only are we back, but I have two guests today, Anthony Desalvo and Connor Hess. Guys, would you like to say hello? Anthony, say hello first. You look a little bit nervous.
Hi.
Good evening, podcast.
All right.
Rock and roll tonight.
So, before we begin, all right. So, being a self-respected Italian, I don't care for pastabilities. I think their noodles taste like ramen.
Really? I mean, it depends what you're getting. I was really disappointed with the Riggies because they were vegan, which I don't have any issues with vegan. Yeah,
vegan?
That's all they had. All they had was the vegan option for the rigatoni. So I was pretty disappointed.
Oh my god!
I mean, I don't know. The sauce is good.
Okay, they've got their little tomato oil. I'll give them that.
Yeah, the spicy tomato.
That's
oil,
about. You can get that at Wegmans though. I mean,
that's true. I don't know.
I just feel like it's
pretty overhyped.
Right, it's overhyped. It's like a tourist trap to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. The few times I've been there. I mean, I guess I'd rather go to Francesca's, but I'm a big Utica Greens guy. Gotta have them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not much of a Utica Greens guy. I like veggies that much.
But you're eating vegan.
Yeah, you're eating vegan pasta.
Green, it's pasta.
Were the meatballs tofu?
I don't think so.
Oh my good lord.
Fried tofu is pretty good.
This is what the girlfriend's doing to him, making him go fucking
Right,
vegan.
I know. My goodness. I don't want that being contagious.
Well, she's a diabetic, so I try to eat.
Alright, let's just bum us right out.
I'm just saying.
So she can't have a twisted tea, or is she the other diabetic?
No,
or she needs sugar?
She's the one. Juvenile. Can't do anything about it. I offered to give her my pancreas, but I guess it doesn't work like that.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
alright, so let's start off with, how long have you guys been on now? I lose track because honestly, it feels like just yesterday you guys were coming in and I was sizing you for your recruit uniforms.
Yeah, it's been
almost coming up on 2
years.
Jesus.
2 years already.
So,
and I think you have taken all my money to be.
Well, listen, especially this one. I told him already, like, I was going to break his stones. I remember him coming in like, do you think this is enough uniforms? Like, you have one for every day of the week.
Yeah, I've ruined a bunch. So
freaking, and then Mr. Recruit Tie Bar selling them out of the back.
Oh, yeah. Those things were really
I will say they saved our asses quite a bit.
Yeah.
They are. They're a hot commodity.
Yeah.
They suck.
How many? Now,
it's like backdoor trading.
No, you honestly, like...
I'm pretty sure you upcharged me $5 for it.
Yeah.
He would steal people's and say, hey, you want one? I got one. So
either demerits or buy it from me.
So, for everyone listening, when they go through the academy, they have to have their recruit uniform, and one of the nuances, they have to have a tie bar that says recruit on it. So, it's always issued, but Officer Desalvo took it upon himself to buy, let's say, a baker's dozen. I'm probably exaggerating, but it sounded like that much. So, what do you guys remember about the academy? Like, what was the hardest part, and what do you think was the most fun?
Hardest part, getting along. We had 25, well, yourself included, so 24 other people.
Right.
That you had to be on the same page with, in uniform, without hesitation.
And how many did you guys... You had outside agencies too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, is it like... I'm trying to remember what outside agencies you guys had. Did you guys have the Malone squad?
We had Cortland, Ithaca, Auburn.
We had, Ithaca, Tompkins Community College.
TCC.
Yeah.
Auburn. Well, we had
Auburn.
So, obviously, yes, that's a little bit more difficult, especially because they're... So, when they train, do they train with their duty weapons because they're different?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's got to be weird.
Yeah.
So, again, your group nearly wasn't as bad, but we've had groups where, like, we'll literally say your uniforms are ready, and no one comes and gets them. So, like, they're literally sitting there, and we wait and wait, and then we'll text who's ever running the academy, and be like, so and so. Oh yeah, no, we're waiting until they go get it. Just as the mind games go.
Oh yeah.
What about when you do DT? That's when you get the most bruised, right? Like you're just whacking the piss out of each other.
Yeah, I'd say the hardest part is probably just I'm not a morning person. Just getting up because you're going to get destroyed every day, whether it be just regular PT or DT. So just kind of wake up, splash water in your face, shave, and kind of just what's coming, and it's just you gotta drag yourself out to your vehicle. And
you want to want it in the morning,
and you just have to get into a routine.
Walk in the door. You're just oh boy, here we go.
You know what you're getting into. We still
Well, and again, right in the beginning, that's when it's it's the mind games, right? It's.
No, I think it went throughout the 6.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, there was.
Because didn't you guys have DiPuccio?
No, we didn't.
No. So that's the other thing too is you never know who's going to lead the charge that day, and your beard's like mine. So I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, I shave almost twice a day.
Yeah.
From being a barber, the amount of times that we would be switching razors, getting buzzers out for each other, and it wasn't even a question in your mind. Find the nearest person. Hey, you mind shaving my nose hairs, the back of the hair?
I don't want to put anyone on blast, but Deuster was atrocious at shaving. We had to have Hollenbeck from.
Well, he doesn't.
Portland.
He's barely got any facial hair.
Well, yeah, you think so, but you came in and he had these big scratches on the bottom of his neck.
Looked like he got clawed.
Yeah, like he got clawed.
Just say no.
Consistently failed, and he had to run down to the locker room 5 minutes ago with Hollenbeck and
every morning.
So even marks on your neck like that were demerits and stuff.
I don't think he ever got demerits for it, but he just didn't look good.
Yeah.
So at high school, I used to have to go literally during lunch because I had to be clean shaven, and I'm like you, I get 5 o'clock shadow at noon.
By noon.
Yeah. So, oh God, dude, I could not imagine that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I remember one
bald
time.
too. You're Mr. Clean for some reason.
Well, first of all, what's wrong with being bald? Okay, some of us choose to shave our heads. Okay.
I have luscious locks. Unfortunately, I did not for 6 months.
So I always ask the question too, and I think at some point I'm gonna have one of you guys probably do one and the other. What was worse, getting pepper sprayed or getting tased?
I can answer that 100 times.
Mace?
I would rather get pepper sprayed 10 times over than get tased.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree. I think getting pepper sprayed was worse than I'd rather get tased. I'd rather get tased because it's only 5 seconds. It's 5 seconds and it sucks, but it's over. With the pepper spray, you're done.
Mitch, I still have permanent marks
from the barbs
on my butt and the back shoulder blade of where I got hit.
All right, so that's the other question. So I guess obviously it's not a very accurate shot, right? So it's just going to hit where it's going to hit for the most part.
Yeah.
Where did you get hit?
Upper back and lower back. Back, top right, and
so you got more meat.
Left.
Right shoulder blade and right butt cheek.
Oof. All right, so maybe that's the deciding factor then.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd still rather get tased in the ass.
See, everybody usually says they'd rather get tased because I feel like the pepper spray stays with you.
Awful.
It keeps reactivating.
As long as you don't get hit with a taser, working with other cops, and you're less likely to get tased if a cop knows what they're doing.
Right.
Unfortunately, the pepper spray, if you're in a crowd and
you're gonna get
it.
Your backsplat.
I was really confused in Armory Square why all of a sudden my eyes started watering and I couldn't breathe, and the crowd started coughing, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Well,
so the only time I've ever really had anything, so I had this guy come in and he had one of those Asp Metro Defenders.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I'm trying to get the cartridge back in, and I think I'm putting it in wrong. I go, all right. So I go to unscrew it. He had it in backwards. As soon as I unscrewed it, it just sprayed in my face. I shut my eyes immediately, and I just started coughing. I dropped it. I ran right in the back, and I'm just, this, that.
Oh, yeah.
And Julia's like, you okay? I'm like, I will be.
Leave me alone.
So I'm literally like, I'm washing my hands like 100 times, just knowing the oil's still going to be there. I come back out, clean it up. I'm like, all right. They go, the problem was you had it in backwards. So I go to put it in, and I put it back in. He's good. And he's like, all right, I want to get another one. I'm like, all right. And he goes, is it in the right way? I go, it should be. So I open it up. It's in the right way. So I go to close it, and he goes, how do you work it? And he went to grab it, and I had the thing unlocked, and he hit the button, and it caught me again. I'm like, Julie, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. I was just, oh my God, it hurt. But even that stuff's not as strong.
Right.
All right. So, because I also remember too. So like your guys' last day, like once you were done, I remember you guys came in, and I'm expecting, like you guys would be jumping for joy. This one's face, I'm pointing to Officer DeSalvo, just looked like he just lost his dog. I go, what the hell happened? You're like, they just showed us this video, and it was just like, I'm like, but you're done. You're like, yeah, but I mean, it had to feel good though, right? Like, did you guys go out and, celebrate, quote unquote?
Are you referring to the it was like the line of duty death?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bummer. It's a bummer video, but it's necessary, and it's a good reality check.
Right.
I think everyone kind of felt the same way after that, but
Yeah, 100%.
I can't remember what we did after the last day. I don't know. Every weekend I pretty much celebrated in my own way.
Let loose.
Yeah.
Prayed for Friday at 4 o'clock.
I mean, I may or may not still remember a picture of you, but
well, that was after the graduation party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. I didn't make it home.
Now, did you guys go to the gala?
No.
No.
See,
We were working.
I heard too was $100 a pop.
Yeah.
All right.
$100 is open bar at least?
No.
No?
Duvall said it was
Just to get in.
cash bar.
That's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Right?
Yeah.
I could go get blackout at Blarney for $100.
There you go. So you guys also too. You guys were like the last group to have the voucher cards, I believe, or maybe one other one. I'm trying to remember.
I know we definitely had them.
Yeah.
Definitely had them.
And you guys had to do full leather, right? You couldn't do nylon during the academy.
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, you could. Okay. So they went back to now everyone's got to buy batons again. Yeah, I think it's for DT because I think they ran out.
Sure.
But now they're allowed to wear outer carriers on FTO, and
you could still wear it. You could wear outer carriers in FTO.
Oh, you can?
I don't know why that was such a weird. It was such a weird rumor.
Yeah,
that
it was a very weird kind of rumor mill thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I also think for the department they were still kind of relatively new.
Right.
But yeah, I remember like we were super worried about it. Like we got them, we're super pumped, and then it was like, don't wear them on your first day. Ask your FTO if they're okay with it.
Right.
Yeah, we ask them, and they're like,
why
are you asking me that? I'm like,
this is the same FTO program where in the book it still says you got to wear your 8-point. So it's kind of might be outdated.
we'll leave that for another night.
That's fine. I like the 8-point. I think it looks sharp.
Oh my God!
An FTO, I'd probably get bullied.
You wouldn't rather a Stetson?
No, I love the 8-point.
Do you still have that big hat that we made for you? Yeah.
I do have the big hat. Yeah. Yep.
We're gonna have to post a picture of that
That's
at some
great.
point.
It's pretty awesome.
So what? The first time when you guys were officially off FTO, were you like, all right, I got this because you've already been through it, or, I mean, I know if it were me, I'd have a little bit of nerves, but like, I guess you just kind of just go with the flow, and especially you two. I mean, you guys are smart guys. You're street smart. I mean, we see some of these recruits come in. They don't even know their waist size for pants. So, I mean, obviously that kind of stuff does get weeded out, and but I'd have to imagine that first call going to by yourself, it's kind of like, knuckled up. And we don't have to really get into what it was, but I mean, all I can say is, I mean, I know I'd have to do one of those pre-test, bowel movements, we'll call it, because otherwise I'd be losing my mind.
I think like the only way to compare it for someone that doesn't understand would be like driving your grandpa's brand new Bentley. Right? You're so excited. He finally said, yes.
You can drive on your own.
You can drive it on your own.
Yep.
And every single thing you do, you're just hoping no one hits you. No one runs a red light. You don't run a red light.
Right.
Everything else, you're just worried about. But you're finally driving Grandpa's Bentley.
And were both of you guys, didn't you start on midnights? Or no?
No, we've been thirds the whole time.
Third? So you've never... Okay.
So our academy was all thirds.
So you're at least done at a certain... Well, as long as you don't get a call, but that is kind of the witching hour too, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, summer days.
I was going to say, yeah.
I've definitely had it where I've been sitting across from East and unfortunately midnights they're all tied up and then I got to go to a domestic with a weapon and then I'm held over an hour for a case that it's just ridiculous.
So then obviously you guys kind of look forward to winter, right? Because...
No, I like being busy. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I also agree.
Well, and that's the other thing too. A lot of people say like they're like, I don't know if I could do days because there's really very minimal to nothing going on, and then all of a sudden, once nighttime comes, we all know what happens around here. So
it's a nice break, I guess, but I don't think I could consistently do that. I need to be just.
I mean, does it mess with your... Well, all right, so you guys are on 12s right now, so you're 4 on, 4 off.
10s. Yeah. 4 10s.
4 10s, so 4 on, 4 off?
3 off. 4 on, 3 off. 4 on, 4 off. 4 on, 3 off.
Oof. Well, so the first day, do you just crash? Or have you gotten used to it where you can acclimate?
It just depends if I got anything going on. I mean, I'm okay with napping all day, but... That
is one thing nice with thirds, though, like with our schedule now, though. It's not like, hey, I just worked midnights last night. You lose a whole day catching up.
Exactly.
Or you just tough it out, and then you're a walking zombie.
Yeah.
So either way, like, at least for me, I'm programmed now to go to bed around, like, 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So I know by 8 to 10, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Right.
For days off or weekends, whatnot.
Well, and so both of you also do other... We're not going to call them curriculars, so... Officer Hess, you also are a barber, and Officer Desalvo, you're also in the guard, correct?
Yeah.
So, how does that... I mean, you kind of can pick and choose, right, when you balance. However, you kind of are at the mercy of Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam just kind of tells me what to do. Which, it sucks some days. So I typically just go to drill once a month, and then 2 weeks in the summer, but it's a little bit different because I'm getting deployed. In January, so, but say, I'm working 4 on, 4 off, and then, say, my weekend just happened to start on Thursday, Friday, so that's day 1 and day 2 off is Friday, and then day 3 off, I'm in Buffalo for drill, day 4 off, I'm in Buffalo, and then I have to go right back, so I go from playing soldier for the weekend, and then I'm right back, so unfortunately I really get the rest sometimes, especially if it's a longer drill. Like I'm going for 3 weeks. Tomorrow I'm going to Buffalo, so I got to try to leave work earlier so I can go try to get a couple hours of sleep. I'll be up and drunk for 3 weeks. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I was gonna say, all right, especially so you're gonna be deployed, so now you have to totally switch mindsets.
Yeah, for sure.
That's got to be just a mental exhaust. I can't imagine it, dude. Like. I mean, I go from here to runnings, but it's still firearms. The only difference is the people who I'm selling to.
The people and the systems.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, a little bit. So, like, I it's a little bit nicer because, and then I'll always throw the officers I do background checks for get delays too. Well, why? I go, that's just the way it is. I don't know what to tell you. But now, so when you're off, do you kind of make your own schedule?
Yeah, so I pick and choose the days that, like, I'm going to cut hair. Mm-hmm. Then I'll pick and choose, like, the days that I'm going to do, like, stuff around the house, or other extracurriculars.
Right.
Whatnot. So with the 4 on, 3 off schedule, I try to cut, like, every 2 weeks, at least 1 or 2 days.
Right.
you know, if I got a big project coming up or a vacation, you know, I might cut 3 out of the 4.
Yep.
I might cut 4 out of the 4. You know, it just kind of all depending. But there's no set limit. There's even some days that I might get a phone call at 10 o'clock at night. Hey, I've got a wedding tomorrow morning. What can I do to make it work? And I'm like, you bring in some coffee.
And
we can make it work. 6 a.m. sound good to you?
You got the
Sounds
bib and the
good.
clippers.
Right.
So, and we were talking earlier this week how they were talking about literally getting a, like, what, barber chair in the
PSB.
In the PSB.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I think it would save a lot of people time and
A lot of time. You know where you're going.
Yep.
You set up a weekly schedule.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know, you know, I am licensed, but there's other guys that just kind of cut for fun.
Right.
So, I mean, you could have 2 or 3 chairs down there.
Yeah. I mean, I cut for fun too. Like almost
Yeah.
every other day, I gotta cut. You know.
Yeah.
I just choose to shave my head. I'm not going bald. So basically, you know, you guys have full schedules now. And again, like I said, when I work 7 days in a row, but I've become acclimated to it. But I remember when I first started doing it, like you're just like, and I still get burnt out, right? Like there's 2 of us here,
Got to.
and even you guys, the numbers are low. Do you ever think they're gonna lift the living in the city rule?
Mitch, that's a great question. I
don't think so.
I think all of us are wondering that same question.
I don't think they will.
I also don't think they will either.
I mean, I get some of the reasoning behind it, that they obviously want people, you know, if you're in the city, you're kind of representing, but at the same time, like, you want to get away from where you work. Like, I don't know, that's just me. I mean, if I lived 2 minutes down the road, my God, I need my drive in. I got to listen to my podcast. Like, you know, for example, Cuffs and Hoses, which, you know, but other than that, yeah, I need my little bit of drive time to unwind. But I don't know. I mean, and you guys roomed with each other when you were in the academy, right?
I didn't.
I thought you guys lived together.
No.
Around the corner.
Yeah, like super close. We like picked each other up, took turns.
Every morning.
All right, let me
Yep.
scratch that from my notes.
Sometimes I would go over and get dinner with them.
Yep.
But you guys were closer, so like
Yeah.
we're basically making sure you guys were ready to go.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think your group, you guys were actually more of a tight-knit group for the most part. The biggest class I think I've ever done is the ones that just did their 5-year armor. That was, like, and I'm talking just Syracuse Police in general. There was, I want to say,
What's
20.
that class size of 30-ish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the line out the door when everyone was coming to get their armor sized. And I was still relatively new to the job. Like, that was, I've been here almost 6 years, so that was, like, my first big academy. I was like, oh, my God.
Help! I'm
Yep.
in danger.
And I remember, like, just my head was spinning. But, I mean, it's like, I just hate to say it. I just wish that they did something to where they could at least do a temporary thing so you guys could get more help. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never, like, so when that first group, so we did that academy and that was it. I don't think there was another academy for at least another year or 2. Now they're back to back.
Back to back to back.
Exactly. Like, we've got one about to graduate, and then there's one that's still in. And I'll tell you what, like, when they come in, it's not like you guys were, like, where I'm like, wait, what academy are you in? Are you in Onondaga? Are you... It's so confusing, guys. I won't even lie to you. One thing I noticed that, like, so Onondaga, they get to do, like, their side gigs, right? Like, where they can go work, like, security gigs.
Okay.
Is that something that you guys would ever be able to do, or is it just straight overtime for you guys?
No, they have
Like
some opportunities.
Like the dome details, right?
We have quite a few opportunities.
Yeah.
Even just secondary employment opportunities. There's
the on-center, Central Hub.
Central Hub. You've got
Housing.
Skytop. You've got Parkside. You've got housing.
Yeah.
You know, we're not doing traffic at the apple orchard. You know,
Right.
We've got you know, we've got other
You're in the
avenues.
thick of it.
Right.
Well, and, you know, it's funny because, so obviously I'm good friends with a certain deputy who he wants to remain nameless, but he was Syracuse police before he went to the county.
Okay.
And I remember, like, talking to him, I'm like, so I'm like, what? He goes, literally, it's night and day. He's like, you're checking, like, you're doing welfare checks, like, on old women, like, in the county. He goes, it's nothing like the city. He goes, so there would be calls where, like, it's, like, domestic, and he's like, some of these people haven't done them in so long that when he went to react, you know, like, he was like, what are you guys doing? And they were kind of, like, you know, fumbling. It's not to knock the county at all, but, like,
It's
you guys see,
ballgame.
you guys see more of the, you know, intense stuff, obviously, in the city. And I always compare it to, and I've mentioned it before, where, like, when I did plumbing, we were non-union, but we did everything. I did commercial jobs. I did residential. I did, you know, outside sewers, inside sewers, and I got to get my hand wet in everything. Whereas, like, the guys I know now that are union plumbers, like, all I do is solder pipe all day, or all I do is set...
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of, you know, you break in a little bit. Do you guys think you're going to be road, or do you guys want to probably do CID, SID, schools at some point? I mean, quite frankly, I wouldn't want to do the schools,
Yeah,
but
I don't.
God bless them.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know how they do it, man.
definitely not the schools. Right now, CID doesn't really interest me too much. You know, I like pushing a car right now, which I'm sure it'll probably change in a couple of years. I want to get off the road.
Well, and you guys are in a great spot, because as these guys are retiring, I mean, even just getting promoted, like,
A lot of movement.
yeah, and that's
of movement.
honestly, you really are. You're in a great spot. But then again, you see other guys that love the road, man. They just love it. They get used to it. Get used to your, you know. And I still don't understand the jargon. Like, when you said a 34, I have no friggin' idea what the hell that means. So at one point, someone's gonna have to give me the code book so I can be like, "Oh yeah, that's what that means. I got it."
We don't use too many.
Oh, you listen.
Not that many.
Every time someone's in here, oh yeah, we had to go to respond to like a 1025, and I'm making that up, but I'm like, oh yeah,
We do use quite a bit of
there's
clearing codes
there's
and
jargon, okay?
The
There's jargon, all right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, sure, I know what that means. Yeah, I can measure your outseam, that's about it.
Yeah.
But I remember when, you know, I was talking to one of the guys that does the recruit. He's like, you should do it. And, you know, I took the test the last year I could take it. And just seeing just every day, like, it just getting worse and worse, not being able to do your job. I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it. Like, I'm someone that I've got a long fuse, but if my emotions get the better of me, like if I see a domestic, I'm going to snap. Like, that's just how I am. So, like, I got to say kudos to you guys, because it's even harder now than it ever was before.
Yeah. No, it's definitely tough. And, like, one of my biggest heartstrings, so to say,
Right.
is, like, animals and kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they can't.
Nope.
They can't do anything about it.
Yep.
Right?
Every time, like, if I see like a dog or dude, it drives me nuts. Like,
Yep.
like I literally I've got a thing that says, in case, you know, you find me, please someone go take care of my dog. Like, that's the one. Oh my God. Like, yeah, I couldn't. Like I said, if I saw that, I'd have to walk away. Like, I don't know if I could do it. Now, all right. So here's a really. Do you have a particular car you guys prefer? Like, and what I mean, like, do you get the same one every time, or is it just
like vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like, because I know there's a certain officer that loves his Crown Vic, and every time I see the Crown Vic, I know who's going to be in it.
That thing's pretty sweet.
There are some select cars that only select people
so
are able to drive.
Right.
We have we operate like a pool system. So essentially, like, you take a car on the lot, you think it's not going to break down for the day, and then you You just drive it around.
You find what you can get.
You find what you can get. Some days there's no cars, and then you gotta wait for either days to come back in or steal a sergeant's car. The sergeant's car is on cages on there, so you're kind of taking a chance. But yeah, we're better off now. We're getting some Durangos in, but you know, for whatever reason, people keep crashing into us. So our numbers of vehicles are going down, and there's like some just sitting at United Radio. I don't know if anyone from United Radio is listening to this, but if we could just get like one or two more.
Get them done. Get them done.
Sick.
Well, all right. So it's basically kind of just like the luck of the draw, then.
Yeah. I mean, so like you have your territory car,
right?
Right. So let's just use a number like 432, for example.
Okay.
Right? So you want to find a car that has a 431, 32, 33 license plate.
Okay.
But the odds, you try, keyword. But the odds that, you know, someone came in 10 minutes before roll call, right. They grabbed your car because it's 4,000, miles newer than the one that they're supposed to be driving, and then they wash it and bring it up front.
No rolls.
You
rolls.
Could have a south car up north and a north car down south.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's you should, if your car's out there, no matter like what condition it is, you should take that territory car. However, say like the 490 car back when I was on the north side, the 490 car backup camera stopped working at some point. The thing had like 100,000 miles on it. And I look over, and the 432 car, like, yeah, it's missing a quarter panel, but it's got like 30,000 miles on it. It's like, it's the north side, so I'll take the 432 car. And then, unfortunately, if the 430 cop doesn't have a car yet, they got to take the 490 car.
490 car.
You just got to get there earlier. I like to wash up the car and make it look nice, gas it up, so I can just head right out. So it's kind of just, no, you just got to.
So have you ever gotten to a car where they just left it a complete shit show? Like, it's just... Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not just talking snacks in the front seat. Like, if they had someone in the back and will they at least give you the common courtesy of hosing it out? Or no comment? Are we gonna just?
So I'm gonna no comment on this one.
Part of that was on. So I'm gonna shout out Brownell here. I don't know if he wants his name in this or not, but I'm just gonna use his name because he's the man. So we went to. We were working 460s. We had like
there we go. Codes again. Okay. Yep.
Well, 460s like Eastwood. So we had in the car. It wasn't the new one yet. So, but the in between one wasn't bad. So we went to a residential fire where we got yelled at by Syracuse Fire, and then it turned into this whole like arson deal. So we end up detaining one of the females there, and then we were walking to the car. And then we opened up the back of the car, and there's a big thing of dog food sitting in the back seat. So because we didn't check the vehicle because we got complacent, so we're like, what the fuck? Like, why is there dog food in the back of the seat? So someone, for whatever reason, left that there, and we just didn't check. But I would still be pretty surprised if I was doing the checks we were supposed to do, how we learn an FTO, and then realize there was dog food in the back seat. But yeah, sometimes there's blood on the back seats, there's spit. And I mean, I get it. Like, if you're tired, you had a rough shift,
right?
You just want to get out of there. I mean,
I guess it could be worse than dog food. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean,
well, what do you do with a full bag of dog food?
What do you do with it?
Yeah,
bring it to the shelter. I'm talking like if someone just took a big steaming freaking.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Yeah, like
blood and spit.